Did you ever think you see the day when the word Hollywood would have like a negative connotation surrounding it? Be honest with you, I guess I'm talking to more so the older generation at this moment. Did you ever think you'd see that day when Hollywood wasn't synonymous with bright lights and big careers and moments and impacts, and when people would like have nothing in their pockets, go out to Hollywood with big dreams, live in a crappy apartment, and try to make it? Remember those days? Well, them days is long gone, bro. You merely mention the word Hollywood and people get, it's just cringy right now. I never thought I'd see this day, bro. This video and this headline right here is how P. Diddy's arrest is exposing all of Hollywood. Let's check it out.
Since Diddy's arrest in September, many celebrities have been suspiciously quiet. Diddy was connected with almost everyone in the Hollywood elite and the music industry. Almost every celebrity had met him at some point, and many had gone even further, joining his parties and perhaps even his crimes. In this day and age, silence is a celebrity's greatest enemy, and unfortunately many of them are learning this the hard way. Take for example LeBron James. Love him or hate him, LeBron is undeniably one of the biggest names in the NBA, holding 4 championships under his belt, being compared to Michael Jordan as the GOAT, and being declared an NBA All-Star 20 years in a row cements his mantle as the top of basketball. But unfortunately he has been involved in some rumors lately, and it all happened with a single comment. During one of Diddy's live streams 4 years ago, the NBA star made a quick appearance and declared, "Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party."
Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so
yeah, that's what's up.
At the time, no one thought much of the exchange. All it was a pair of celebrities hyping each other up, and LeBron had no idea how damning those words would be, nor how quickly his fellow athletes would turn on him because of them. During the build-up to a fight against Joaquin Buckley, Colby Covington made some scathing comments about LeBron. At the time, LeBron James had suddenly stepped down from his team for personal reasons. This seemed to come out of nowhere. He was also taking a break from social media at the same time. It might have been a coincidence, especially since LeBron was nursing a foot injury, but other people did.
That's what I thought it was. I ain't been really into basketball yet because I normally wait till the end of the NFL season really to kind of, or towards the end, playoffs start, then I start kind of paying attention to what's going on in the NBA. So I just been hearing like snippets of, okay, LeBron stepped away, or you know what I mean, and his injury, his foot injury, he was on like this bad streak of shooting and different things like that. So that's the only thing I've heard in relation to LeBron James. So hearing all this was going on at the same time is news to me. I didn't catch that.
Didn't think so. Any other time, people would never have blinked an eye at this. He's at the top of his game, maybe he just needs a break. However, LeBron's break began shortly after a clip of the livestream with him and Diddy started making the rounds, and the whole thing just seemed too fishy, and Covington held no punches. During the press conference, the UFC fighter deemed James as a scumbag for his past comments and starts on certain political issues, and then he went on to voice his confusion about why people thought of him as a role model, and finished by telling the NBA player that he hoped he got locked up in the same cell as Diddy. It was a very intense speech. Full Send MMA followed it with an interview a few days later. During the interview, Covington commented on how odd James's radio silence was and demanded to know where he'd actually gone.
I tell you guys the other day at Media Day, now all of a sudden he's went radio silent. He's taking an indefinite leave and he's nowhere to be found. So where'd you go, LeBron? Why'd you leave? Do you have something to hide?
And he's not the only celebrity who's called out LeBron James for the livestream comments. Sean Strickland also shared his thoughts on the matter on X, where he would deem LeBron James as spineless, mocking him for ever attending Diddy's parties, closing off with an also unflattering comment about LeBron James's role in those parties. Other people have tried to defend LeBron James or insisted that people wait until the law has decided on the matter, but speculations are impossible to stop. And while nothing has been confirmed, LeBron James's lack of response to the accusations really hasn't helped his case, and the fact that he suddenly left the spotlight raises people's suspicions even more, as most people felt that this break came way too soon straight after the Diddy allegations to be a coincidence, as what other reason would he have to avoid social media than bad press? But for now, people are erring on the side of caution. But LeBron
So what have we heard? What have we heard about LeBron? I know that pause right there was crazy at the top of his hair right now. LeBron been in the league a long time. But anyway, back to what we were saying. You know what I mean? What have we heard? Has there been any allegations come out? Any things? Because all I'm hearing is still constant lawsuits coming out on Diddy. That's all I keep seeing. So when did LeBron, other than the clip that went around of him saying ain't no ain't no party like a Diddy party, but that's all you have to go on is what I'm seeing so far. So I can't really speculate towards his involvement because a lot of people said they left those parties early. So if you didn't stay for the aftermath of whatever that was and entailed, then you know nothing about it. And again, my question is, has anybody come out? Or are they just looking to target LeBron because that clip resurfaced? Is that the case? So I can't really speak on that.
Definitely isn't the only celebrity catching strays from Diddy's case, as Jay-Z has also felt the consequences of his choice of friends when he received his own bout of accusations. In October, amid the numerous allegations against Diddy, one stood out amongst the rest, a young girl who was sexually assaulted by a trio of celebrities. The initial suit only listed Diddy, referring to the other two perpetrators as Celebrity A male and Celebrity B female. However, after an attempt to keep things anonymous, the defendant amended the suit. On the 8th of December, Jay-Z was the first celebrity linked to Diddy's alleged illegal activities. According to the allegations filed, the now 37-year-old Jane Doe was determined to get into the VMAs in 2000. It was on her bucket list, and while she didn't have a ticket, she was sure she'd find another way to get in. So a friend dropped her off at a Radio City music hall, where the VMAs were being hosted. She began her search. While there were no celebrities around to talk to, she could ask their limo drivers about getting in. One of those drivers claimed to work for Diddy. He couldn't get her into the awards, but he did invite her to an after party. According to the allegation, he said that the rapper liked younger girls, and she fit what he was looking for. He explained that he needed to drop Diddy and others off first, but if she could meet him after the VMAs, he could get her to the after party. Being young and naive to the dangers of the invitation, the young girl agreed, and after a 20-minute drive, she arrived at a white house with a U-shaped driveway. Apparently, upon entering, two men asked her to sign what she now believed was an NDA. She was then met by a sight that would have shocked any 13-year-old. Inside was a party resembling the movie Eyes Wide Shut, a huge party of celebrities, some of which she recognized and tried to mingle with. Allegedly, all of them were drinking and participating in widespread drug use. Waitstaff circled the crowd while loud music boomed through the room. While attempting to socialize, the young girl took one of the offered drinks. It was a reddish yellow and tasted like orange juice, cranberry juice, and something bitter. After a few sips, she felt lightheaded and went looking for a place to lie down, and that bitter taste could have been GHB, a party drug known for causing drowsiness, and often used to spike people. According to the allegation, it's believed that Diddy or his employees at his instruction were adding the drug to the guests' drinks. She found a room that was empty of everything besides a large bed and planned to rest there for a while, but unfortunately things quickly went from bad to worse when the accused trio of celebrities stumbled into the room.
That sounds crazy. First of all, let's 2025. Let's normalize being cautious about signing NDAs. All right. What have we learned? Nothing good has come from people signing NDAs, man. Nothing good. All right. So let's just be cautious and be like, if y'all gotta sign an NDA, maybe I don't need to be here. Let's take that route starting 2025. All right. Then you went on to say that you felt bad, and the first thing you wanted to do was stumble into a room where a bed. Whoa, why? You don't know this place? This is a random place you went to a party. You have no idea. No, go home. Get yourself home. Let's make sure all of us have Uber apps and Lyft apps or whatever the app is on our phone these days. That way we can just hit the button and worry about coming back and getting our vehicle the next day. Or whenever, if it's towed, going to get it from where it's towed from. Like, going into a room, a random room with a bed and just getting in it and trying to just get you some rest real quick is not, when has that ever been smart? No. Now, that's still, even though you did that, nothing should still happen to you, of course. But what we're trying to do is prevent that. Be proactive, all right? No, don't do that.
But unfortunately, things quickly went from bad to worse when the accused trio of celebrities stumbled into the room. According to her allegation, Diddy had a crazed look in his eyes. He approached her aggressively, claimed that she was ready to party, and threw her towards a wall. While she was able to get up again, Diddy grabbed her once more and threw her onto the bed. At that point, she was getting more and more disorientated, which the trio took advantage of. Allegedly, Celebrity A removed her clothes and her while Diddy and the female celebrity watched. Once finished, he stepped back against a wall and Diddy took his place and the two others still watching. When the rapper knocked her down intending to continue, the young girl started to fight back, and after a bit of a struggle, she landed a punch to Diddy's neck that caused him to stop. She stood up, grabbed her clothes and shoes and ran out of the room, her dress covering her like a towel. Not entirely free, she then ran around the house until she found the front door. Once outside, she redressed and ran towards a nearby gas station. Fortunately for the young girl, a female clerk saw that she was in distress and allowed her to use the phone. She called her dad, admitted she had lied about where she was, and was soon picked up. After the alleged incident, the young girl fell into a deep depression. Apparently, she now suffers from PTSD and a seizure disorder caused by the stress and trauma. You can only imagine how traumatizing this would be. She also claims to have difficulty with relationships and functioning in society. Following all of this, both men were very quick to deny these allegations. Diddy's lawyers deemed the suit a shameless publicity stunt to get money out of him. The rapper's issue was that he already had a checkered past outside of his friendship with Diddy. He was friends with predators like R. Kelly, even after it came out that he married a minor and was often rumored to be dating minors himself. However, the dodgiest thing about him is his relationship with Beyonce. During a 2000 interview with 17, Beyonce explained that she'd be in no rush to get married once she started dating the rapper. In fact, she'd sworn off getting married until she turned 25. The logic behind the decision was quite sound, as she told 17, "I really don't believe that you will love the same thing when you're 20 as you do at 30. She wanted to discover who she was before sharing it with the man she planned to spend the rest of her life with. However, as sweet as that sentiment is, Beyonce was still dating Jay-Z throughout the 8 years before they got married. It's possible that she looked to him for guidance as she learned to navigate the music industry and certain aspects of adult life. But this doesn't seem very good for several reasons. Firstly, because of how long they've been together. Jay-Z set his wife's standard for what to expect from a partner. This means that even in situations where another woman might have left, such as her partner cheating on her multiple times, Beyonce stayed because it was the kind of behavior she'd come to expect. This also implies that the rapper could shape her into the woman he wanted, something she confirmed during a speech she made before they were married.
You taught me so many things. I was 20 years old when we first started dating. You taught me how to be a woman. You taught me how to be leaders. You taught me how to be a friend. You've given me so much in life.
Many seem to think that Jay-Z had successfully molded her into something for him. She wasn't her own woman, but rather a product of his fantasies, and one that he wasn't willing to share no matter the other person's intentions. Which brings us to the third and final point about Jay-Z.
Okay, so let's go back to the victim, right? Because this is what I want to know, because I've seen the reports. I've seen Jay-Z respond back to the lawyer, his statement he released out, and this has gotten ugly, bloody. This is bloody. That's happening right now. Of him defending his name and the lawyer going after him, and now the lawyer, even the judge, I think in the most recent thing is saying that the Jane Doe's information will not be made public or released. Who she is won't be released, or something that has been the latest. It'll probably change again by the time I drop this video. Who knows? But how do you, as the father, like, and let me take it off of them. If my daughter comes to me after leaving a party or whatever, and she had to run to a store, and the store clerk had to call me, or she had to call me from the store, whatever it was, and I get there and she's shaking up and everything like that. As the father, I'm trying to first get her to safety, protection. Then I'm calling the authorities, bro. And we gonna be probably back at that party before it shuts down. This is what makes the story of the alleged victim hard to, that's one of the reasons that makes it hard for them to ever get a prosecution if they're telling the truth. Number one, the time has been so long. Number two, why didn't you do this? This is all stuff that the lawyer is gonna poke holes through if they go to trial, or is there any type of disposition or anything like that, they're gonna poke holes there. Why did it take you so long? Why did you wait until now? Why did this, and this, right? And don't get me wrong, there's no time limit, but for me as a parent, I'm going to that party. Police, I'm on the phone with them telling them, you better beat me there. Like, what do you mean? Y'all better get there before I get there. Because if I come across the names that she's been telling me, bro, it's over for me. You better come get them and me. So, it just be so many things that you question and you be like, when they be painting this picture and different things like that. Trust me, I never want to say that it's not true. I never want to not believe a person who's you want to take them at face value. Unfortunately, we've had people that there was one girl in this case, not I don't think with Jay-Z, but I think with maybe Diddy, that actually lied. That actually lied. So you have to take that into consideration that people are out here bag chasing and they're going after the bag. And they will say or do anything to get that bag. And they'll unfortunately tell a lie. So again, I'm not saying that's what the victim did, but you have to be cautious of that. And you have to be aware that they're gonna, okay, that timeline thing, oh, they gonna go after that.
Alleged possessiveness. There have been several situations where Beyonce wasn't allowed to perform directly with any male artist besides Jay-Z. This makes collaboration between artists difficult, something that Sean Paul and Bun B experienced firsthand. After working on Baby Boy with Beyonce in 2003, she and Paul only ever performed it with her 3 times. While Paul denied that Jay-Z had anything to do with this, many believed otherwise. There were just too many odd situations surrounding their few performances, such as when his mic cut off in 2003. The Jamaican artist eventually revealed that Jay-Z was never comfortable with his wife being around him. His interference in Bun B's collaboration with his wife on Check On It was slightly more direct. During an interview, Bun B revealed that Jay-Z called and instructed all the men to leave the set during the video shoot. After so many years of dodginess, his denial just felt long-winded and almost manipulative, especially his comments about the heartbreak he felt for his family, and the declaration that he was being blackmailed felt like a reach to many people. Things got even worse for the rapper when Busby revealed that what Jay-Z called extortion was just standard practice. According to the lawyer, Jane Doe had only been seeking mediation. Contrary to the rapper's statement, she'd never demanded a penny from him. In turn, they were bullied, harassed, and even sued. And it wasn't just Busby who was first being harassed either. According to an Instagram post, Jay-Z's team is harassing his children, colleagues, and employees. Furthermore, they are trying to dig up dirt on Busby and get former clients to sue him. And when they can't find the dirt they want, they're making up something new and telling it to anyone who will listen. In the last—
See, this is the part where I say it's getting bloody. Because now it's like mud is being slung from both sides. Like, okay, we're going to find out about you, whatever dirt you got, we're going to throw it back at you. Okay, we find out whatever dirt you got, we're going to throw it back at you. And then at this point, it's no longer about the victims, it's about who can win this case. The victims get lost in all of this. So this stuff is just nasty, man, what's going on and how this stuff is playing out, bro. It's nasty and it's scary at the same time.
ditch effort to make things go his way, the rapper filed a motion to dismiss the case. When doing so, he also revealed that he was the one who had sued Busby's firm for extortion, proving some of the lawyer's previous claims. Jay-Z seems to have convinced himself that Jane Doe is a pseudonym Busby is using to extort him for money. As such, part of his suit includes the public disclosure of Jane Doe's identity. Most people completely dismissed him, believing he was nothing more than a celebrity desperate not to pay their dues. However, something happened recently that might have changed the situation drastically, as some of the information his accuser gave was inaccurate. According to the initial report, Jane Doe had spoken to Benji Madden. However, Madden revealed that he wasn't in New York at the time of the incident. Furthermore, Diddy and Jay-Z were photographed at a nightclub that evening. While the photos don't account for the whole evening, they invite some doubt into the accuser's claims. However, the most damning bit of evidence against Jane Doe's story is that her father doesn't remember being called to pick her up. This would have been an extremely traumatic experience, especially for someone so young. Any normal father would probably end up in jail after learning that their child had been. So why the Doe?
See, this is what I'm saying. And then when you have your father that you're claiming that you called to pick you up from the store saying he doesn't recall, there goes your case pretty much. Because he would be a prominent witness in this whole thing, right? And you would probably need more than that. You probably need the tape from that night of the store, which probably they don't have. A lot of them stores reuse the tape, and it's been so long ago that store may not even exist anymore. The clerk, you would need the clerk that possibly allowed you in, saw what you looked like, saw you in distress, gave you an opportunity to use the phone. You probably don't remember her name, and it would be her reaching out to y'all to say it was me, I was the clerk. That would be the only hope. But anybody reaching out? Probably not. It's probably been too long. They probably don't even know what's going on if they're not paying attention. So now it's like, this is kind of a real shot in the dark, you would almost say at this point.
had a father who didn't care what happened to her, or her story wasn't entirely true. Now, these inconsistencies don't mean her claims are necessarily false. However, people are much more willing to hear the rapper out now, and it does seem like the case is turning in his favor. Diddy's A-lister friends are undoubtedly being hit the worst during this time. However, they're not the only ones facing accusations. Even celebrities like Cuba Gooding Jr., who were never close with Diddy, are being drawn into the destructive orbit in this case. Gooding was once an incredibly successful actor who could claim ownership of an Oscar. However, controversy soon found him too. In 2022, Cuba pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor charge after forcibly kissing an employee of a nightclub in New York in 2018. He also admitted to 2 other incidences of non-consensual contact. He went to counseling for his issues, and for a few years, the controversy stopped. Cuba started trying to make a comeback after what seemed like a solid course correct. However, controversies continued to follow him, and in early 2024, he was hit with even more allegations. According to these allegations, Cuba was back to his old ways. His victim, a music producer named Rodney Jones. The same Rodney Jones who filed a lawsuit against Diddy in February. Now, Gooding never interacted with Diddy publicly. However, it seems the two did know each other well enough for Gooding to show his face on one of his yachts. According to Jones, the rapper left him alone with Gooding while aboard one of his yachts in 2023. The actor allegedly took advantage of the situation and groped Jones until the producer pushed him away. People were already wary of Cuba because of his past, but his response to the allegations put a sour taste in many people's mouths, as he laughed when asked about the accusation and declared it the most ridiculous thing ever.
Escape it though, like your name, for example, was mentioned in the Diddy case.
Which was the most ridiculous thing ever.
Because you barely know
This is the
him, right?
most ridiculous thing ever.
Most people saw his words as a heartless dismissal. To them, it almost seemed like he didn't fully understand the weight of the situation, especially when looking at all of Diddy's actions and history. That, or he just didn't care. Some felt he was also hiding behind his faith to make it appear like he turned a new leaf. But unfortunately, there are way too many examples of celebrities, especially this high up, who are joining these horrific freak-off parties that hide behind their religious faith for sympathy or to rebrand. To them, he wasn't being genuine, just playing a part for another crack at fame and glory, and to distance himself from Diddy as a whole. And while nothing has been proven, people will remain wary of him. But as the Diddy case continues to expose more and more celebrities, it'll be interesting to see how it further alters people's perceptions and values of them. And as we see more and more of what's actually happening in these parties and who were involved, 2025 will be an interesting year to say the least.
Absolutely, because one thing you gotta know is that it was a party, meaning it was lots of people there. So somebody was there, we just don't know who yet, and they haven't been exposed yet. You know what I mean? There's all kinds of speculation and everything like that, but we don't know for sure right now who was there. A party consists of, and if it's one of Diddy parties, a lot of celebrities and people will be there. So you just can't sit here and think it's nobody else but Diddy. Somebody was there, and it's probably some prominent figures, and a lot of things is happening behind the scenes, but we'll see soon, I think.
This morning, a legal victory for the woman who is suing Jay-Z for allegedly raping her when she was 13. A federal judge ruling the woman can proceed with the case while remaining anonymous, at least for now. But the judge also chastising the lawyers representing Jay-Z, accusing them of trying to fast-track the judicial process by repeatedly filing motions to reveal the identity of the Jane Doe to have the case dismissed. The judge writing in a 5-page brief that the Carter's lawyers' relentless filing of combative motions containing inflammatory language and ad hominem attacks is inappropriate, a waste of judicial resources, and a tactic unlikely to benefit his client. The court will not fast-track the judicial process merely because the counsel demands it. This latest legal twist coming after the recently filed civil lawsuit by Jane Doe, claiming that Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, and P. Diddy drugged and 13-year-old girl at an after party after the MTV Music Awards in 2000 while an unnamed celebrity watched. Jay-Z has vehemently denied all the allegations, putting out this statement 2 weeks ago, writing in part, "This is a blackmail attempt." The multi-platinum artist, who was 30 at the time, now a business mogul with decades of hits, his attorneys have denied everything about Jane Doe's account and pointed to some alleged inconsistencies in her story.
It's not just that this story is a lie and that it's not true. It's provably, demonstrably false. This never happened.
The judge writing that while Jane Doe can remain anonymous for now, she may be required to reveal her identity at a later date to allow Jay-Z's lawyers to collect facts necessary to prepare for trial.
Oftentimes, when someone is accused of a crime like this, the accuser doesn't want to be named, and if they are forced to be named, we have seen certain people decide to drop the lawsuit altogether.
And just the day before this ruling, Jay-Z's wife Beyonce and his daughter Blue Ivy making a heralded appearance during a halftime of the Ravens-Texans game on Christmas Day on Netflix, performing a live show to an audience of more than 27 million viewers. And just this morning, Tony Busby, the lawyer representing Jay-Z and Diddy's accuser, releasing a statement to ABC News, writing, "I will say that the coordinated and desperate efforts to attack me as counsel for alleged victims are falling flat. We won't be bullied or intimidated." We also reached out to Jay-Z and his team, but did not get a response, guys.
I don't know how this here is going to go. This is crazy. This is crazy. Because I've seen a lot of people like rooting for Jay-Z to go down. I don't even know where all the hatred came for Jay-Z. I thought he was beloved, to be honest with you. But to see the hate that's smashed by Jay-Z is crazy. You know what I mean? And like I told you before, this is bloody. It's gotten bloody. For the judge to step in and make those statements about how this is not going to be fast-tracked, it's going to be this, but the victim may have to, you know what I mean, disclose who she is at a later date, maybe not now, but maybe at a later date. Like this stuff is crazy to even see happening, bro. This is a crazy year, 2024, and I think 2025 is going to be a continuation of that.
Diddy is apparently refusing meals. I don't know if it's all of them, but he's refusing some of them, and he's been reportedly looking a lot thinner. Why would that be?
Maybe he doesn't like the cuisine, or maybe now that he's actually in a dormitory unit, he's not living in his cell. Well, he's living in the cell, but he's not in there all day long. Now he can buy items at the commissary, and because of that, he may be making his own food. He probably has access to a microwave oven, or maybe like boiling hot water, and they make burritos and different things. He doesn't want to eat the prison food, I suppose, because he's scared somebody's going to put something in it.
New lawsuit against Diddy claims that it wasn't just freak-off parties that he had. Let's talk about it. This is wild. So a new lawsuit has come forward from a former employee of P. Diddy, Sean P. Diddy Combs. And he claims what we've heard before from other lawsuits, but there's a new name for the type of party that he had to give. Philip Pines is his name, and he is suing Diddy for a list of things, including SA, trafficking, intentional infliction of emotional distress. And he says that Diddy would have him on call 24/7 to have these parties specifically called Wild King Nights.
What is a Wild King Night? I don't want to be involved in nothing like that, bro. Wild King Nights. That's when you show up to that party and be like, you know what? Nah, this ain't for me. I see myself in jail if I stay at this party. Nah, let me go home.
Wild King Nights, a new name that we've not heard yet of the type of party that Diddy would have. Wild King Nights is a new type of party name. He was on call. This employee says he was on call 24/7. He would have to set up the party, set up the lighting in the room, set it up with alcohol and street pharmaceuticals. He would also have to clean up the party, used, you know what, and other things. And we don't even want to talk about the baby oil.
That's a hazmat scene. I'm not cleaning up nobody hazmat scene like that, bro. Like, what's your number? Everybody got a number, myself included. It'd be a huge number, bro, but you know what I mean? Because I've cleaned up hazmat scenes before and different scenes before. You know what I mean? Nothing like those, but after somebody has done something to themselves and they're no longer with us, yes, me and a crew had to go clean that up. I worked for a company. Company was called Aftermath. I've done that before. But, bro, I wonder how much he was getting paid for that, because if those parties are anything like what we're hearing, yeah, those were hazmat scenes, man.
Oklahoma. It seems that we now have our own personal connection to the Sean Diddy Combs lawsuits and trials. Hi, I'm Amanda. I'm your source for all Oklahoma news, Blue Dot, education, and local engagement. An Oklahoma woman has filed a lawsuit against Sean Diddy Combs and several other defendants, alleging that she was drugged and at a party she attended after winning a local radio station contest. This is coming out of the Oklahoman this morning. The lawsuit filed in New York federal court by LaTroya Grayson claims that she and her half-sibling won an all-expense-paid trip to attend one of Combs' New York City parties in 2006. Grayson alleges that she woke up the next morning in the hospital without any memory of what happened. Once again, this is coming out this morning in the Oklahoman. As we all know, Combs has been inside a Brooklyn jail for months as he faces a sex crimes trial in May. The federal indictment lays out charges against Combs for racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He's also been named as a defendant in over 24 civil lawsuits from alleged victims. And today we can add a lawsuit from a Oklahoma woman who is alleging that she was drugged as well in 2016. So we will see how this plays out to make sure that you stay on top of this story and everything else.
Does anybody know the number of lawsuits we're up to now for him, for Diddy? Like, I lost count a long time ago. I wasn't even taking count, but I knew it was a lot. And I wonder if anybody knows the count or where I can go and find the count that he's up to now. Because it's got to be well in the double digits at this point. I mean, well into the double digits, right? Jeez, bro, that's why I keep saying, bro, this trial here, although I don't believe they're going to let the media inside of the courtroom, but this is going to be one of the most craziest. If it goes to trial, this will be the most craziest trial we've seen in a long time, and people are going to be glued to it every single day. You thought OJ was something, and it was. This is going to be crazy, just as crazy.